All right. Should be able to hear me. My hair is all messed up. Thanks for coming in, guys. What we got in here? We got Danger Dylan. We got Liquor Sandwich, JB Zombie, Mac, MW Lewis, Patriot, Detective Butler, Darnell. The gang's all here. Yo. Yeah, so I just wanted to jump on here and do a little like Patreon thing because we didn't do anything last month and I felt bad. And it's not right. We should be on it. So I just wanted to do something a little bit extra, and of course we can, we're going to be doing just more and more Patreon stuff, more stuff as, we go along. You guys have been very supportive on Patreon, and we really appreciate it because, of course, you guys, I'm pretty sure everyone in here has done the uncut podcast Patreon exclusive tier. Obviously, if you're higher than the $1 tier, you get that. You get access to that. So we have that, and it's going to be cool. We're going to try to do some of the commentaries with you guys as well. That could be part of one of the uncut shows that we do in this month. I would like to do it this month. I haven't watched one of those movies yet on 4K. I actually might do that tonight. I don't think Callie's ever seen any of them because I've never shown her besides like Final Chapter, I think, right? The Resident Evil movies.
I have not seen any of them except for that final one.
The Final Chapter? Okay, so she's only seen the Final Chapter, chat room, so that means I watched the first one a lot recently for the review, so I'm a little burnt out on the first one, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. Well, Apocalypse is. I'm really excited to watch Apocalypse. I'm super stoked for that. It's been a while, and I know that it's going to look good in 4K because that was one of those films that, it was like, I think it was shot on film, so. But yeah, so we're going to, any like questions you have in the chat, obviously we'll just answer. The cool thing about the Patreon show is that, or anything we do on Patreon live and comments, it's kind of like another little group within the group because we don't have like a million, comments coming through and there's not like over 100 people. So like, this is more of like a chill, like you can kind of ask away or any topics you want to discuss. It's kind of free form now. We don't really got to worry about the overabundance of people. Not that that's a bad thing. Of course, it's a good problem to have, but you know what I mean. JB Zombie says, watch Apocalypse. Apocalypse I enjoyed back in the day. Yeah, I remember seeing that in theaters. I have like vivid memories of that because, that was one of those things where like you're finally seeing Resident Evil 3 on the big screen. And I just remember playing the game constantly around that time too. And it's crazy to think at that time like Resident Evil 3 was only, maybe like 5 or 6 years old. So it was a very nostalgic time. So I know that holds a lot of weight to sometimes how you feel about certain things. And it definitely does. But one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get, I don't think I have Apocalypse on VHS, but that was the last Resident Evil movie that was on VHS. I think I have the first movie on VHS, and I want to do a history of Resident Evil on DVD and Blu-ray and VHS and UMD because they were, shout out to Carlos Cruz. I don't think he's in here, but he's also a fellow supporter and a fellow friend of the show, and he sent me the UMD of Apocalypse. Actually, let me grab it. It's right over here. Let me actually grab it for you guys, just because it's so interesting. It's one of the things we're going to discuss when we talk about the format of Resident Evil and like what it's been on. All right, so we have the Carlos Cruz bag of fuck here. No, it's cool. I don't have the cases, but I do have the first film on the PSP. Now, it looks like it could play. These things were very interesting. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Extinction was on it, but I'm going to go down the rabbit hole and get all of these complete on PSP because I'm an asshole. And I don't think they cost a lot. I don't know if they hold any significant value. And I have a couple of these actually hanging around. Obviously, I love the PSP. I actually want to get a PSP back because, long story short, I had one in 2005 or 5. I think it was 2005. And I loved it. It was like the best fucking portable machine I've ever played. It blew the DS out of the water. And I got the DS in 2004. And DS was a good... Callie's looking at me like, what the fuck? But you don't understand. Like, for me, like, PS1 games on the go and also PSP games like GTA, Liberty City Stories and stuff like that. So good. So fucking good. But let me pull this up real quick. I actually want to see how much the PSP copies cost. But yeah, so the movies looked great because I remember. But yeah, I had it for a little bit. Sorry, to finish the story, I'm gonna be sidetracked with a bunch of stuff, but who cares, right? We have time. There's like there was a time where I had it, and without my knowledge, my brother took it to school and it got stolen. So that's the bummer. Never owned up to it. But I know this because I was thinking at the time, because I was like maybe midnight, like knocked it into the trash can. Like I was thinking all these things, like, because that was the same year we got Midnight and we brought him into the house. Like, it was like 2006. Like, I got it in Christmas 05, and I think I had it, or Christmas 06, whenever that came out. It was whatever year Liberty City Stories came out on PSP. That's when it was. And I was like, fuck. And I want to get a Vita now. And the shop that me and John and Dustin shop at has one. And now that the store's closed, it's good to say that we could hack it because you can't get the PS1 games anymore. And I like to play some PSP games like Siphon Filter, Dark Mirror, and Logan Shadow because that was the reason why I got a PSP to begin with. But PSP was awesome for cold, snowy midnight shifts. Yeah, I remember like winter because back then I used to wrestle. Like I used to do wrestling like through the school or whatever, and I had like the PSP, like, and I would always play it. And I always remember the cold winter practices when it was just like cold and miserable. And we would do it at the high school that I would end up going to because it was in the gym. It was like in his back room with mats, and that's where we would go to like practice and shit like that. So it was like. But again, like, you always wanted to be safe. Like, I was always safe with my shit. You know what I mean? I would never actually bring my stuff inside because the PSP was expensive, and I didn't want that to happen. Unfortunately, it did. But I'm going to get a PSP again. That's one thing I've always wanted, and I never pulled the trigger on. And, you can get a Vita for a reasonable price. I just have to see how to hack it. I got to probably talk to Perry to see what's going on with that. But PSP was all... I already read that. Siphon Filter games were on PSP were sweet. Yes, they were. They're so good. Detective Butler says, PSP sure did beat the playing the GameCube with a portable screen. That would attach to it. Yeah, I remember that. Perry actually had that. That was the first time I saw one. And same thing with the PlayStation 1, the PS1 screen that came out in 2001. I just never got. I wanted it, and I never got it. Like, my parents were like, "You already have one. You already have a PlayStation." And to be fair, What's up, Chris TV Live? To be fair, we had the PS2 at the time in the house. We had, the Xbox. But the problem is that I was like, I was such a big, PlayStation 1 fan. So I was kind of like, when PS2 came out, I was playing the new games, but I was still playing so many. Because, like, there was so much to, like, catch up on, from, like, the years of 94, 95 all the way to like 2001. That's a lot of games. And that's when I was just like really doing the deep dive. I was younger, but that's when I would, starting to comprehend more games, was getting better at games, understood things more, reading strategy guides to get through stuff. That was kind of like the little plant of like, okay, these consoles are going to be what you're into. But I never got I got the PS1 now. I have the small guy, and it's the hacked one. Shout out to Perry. He got the Stealth Elite mod chip in there about 10 years ago, and that thing still helps. That's how I can play Biohazard on the channel. That's how I can play the betas and stuff like that. That console has really paid off. And the chip wasn't that bad, but you can't find them anymore. But I finally got one. I just never got the screen. And I know like they had like the battery charger and the cigarette lighter plug for the portable charger, and it had all that stuff on there. That's going back. But yeah, portable machines, PSP was definitely the best. And so shout out to Carlos Cruz again for these, because I don't think I ever owned them. And I think Extinction may have been the last one on PSP, because I think by the time 2010 hit, the UMD format was no more. And but yeah, I want to do a history of that on home media, just because I think it would be cool. And I'm into collecting the home media's variants of the Resident Evil movies. It's something I've always been a fan of. But what I'll do for you guys is I actually have a couple of them over there. And like when I do the proper video, it's going to be like a deep dive, but I'll show you some of the formats that I have these on. The VHS of the first film was, I want to say like $3 or $4 or something like that. But that's upstairs. I actually don't have that there. Patriot says, I still have my PSP. I lost my charger, though, but I think I still have my games. Believe I had GTA Vice City and Liberty City Stories and God of War Chain of Memories. Yeah, see, what fucked me with that was that I loved Liberty City, and I would have got Vice City Stories, but unfortunately, the PSP was gone by the time... Yeah, by the time it was gone, so... It was cool, but damn, was it clumsy. Yeah. It definitely was, as far as the portable screen. And I remember watching, because at the time I still had a CRT, like a 12-inch CRT in my old bedroom. And watching stuff on that screen, because I, had a computer, monitor, but it was like a Dell computer. It wasn't HD. Seeing stuff in like that good resolution, whatever resolution the PSP put out, I'm not sure off the top of my head. The original PSP, it looks so good. And I remember, I think I told this story maybe on the show or live or something like that, but I was trying to buy... What's up, MW Lewis? I've been well. Hope you've been well. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for spending your hard-earned dollars and getting some exclusive content. Thanks for coming to the live stream. That goes for everyone. Yeah, it was so clear in HD. So there's so much going on with the change at that time. You only had so many options as far as like TVs that were like affordable, because they were still really expensive. They still are if you want something good, but that's why the TVs are it's an important investment to put the money down. And now you can play like the new machines, you have it, and you have the new machines. I mean, they're there. They're there, and they work with the new TVs. Like, they look like how they should. Now, the 120 frames, that's something that you're going to have to eventually, upgrade your TV for 2.1, which, like, at Best Buy, there's only, three, maybe like 5 models or 6 models, I want to say. Maybe like 5 models that we have that actually do that. And Sony's one of them, and it's definitely the better one. Some people still like the 900E, but I mean, I'm fine with 4K 60 right now, because as long as these machines can do it like that, that's all I care about. It's such like a breath of fresh air as far as, like, playing the machines and then not having to worry about the dropping of the frames or the issues. Yeah, Mac. Well, with that TV and that adapter, definitely. But, around the holiday time, Mac, you can get a TV for a decent price. Even if your budget's like $300, you could still get like a flat screen, and you'll still benefit from it, because it's like you'll get the picture quality out of it, and it will still be 4K. It won't be like, the best 4K ever, but like, it's going to be the biggest upgrade for you. Like, going from standard definition or going through a converter box. And I have a converter box too. I tried to use it on my rear projection upstairs, but I just use that because it was given to me, so I just have it. I'm going to run that thing into the ground because it's a Sony. But the 4K, just going to flat screen. But yeah, the true 4K 120, you need 2.1. Absolutely. Yeah. So you can get 120 at 2.0. And, it also super samples, right? So a lot of people that have 1080p flat screens, not even 4K, and Mac, even if you didn't want to get a 4K TV, you can get a 1080p TV and it super samples. It still pushes higher frames, it still looks really good, and you're still going to get 60 frames per second. So definitely save up some cash and just get a cheap TV this holiday season. Get it free delivery. You don't have to go out to the store if you don't want to, or if you don't have time. You can get some good prices. You don't got to spend more than like $250 even if you want to get a 1080p TV just to get the upgrade, because your PS5 will look night and day, like it will be completely different. Only physical things I buy now are Criterion Collections and Shout Factory and Arrow horror movies. Well, Darnell, you're right up my alley, man. That's the same thing. Sorry, that's the same thing that I do. Arrow Video, I think the only thing I have from Arrow, I have a lot more Scream Factory. Chris TV Live says I have a 1440p monitor with 2.0, so I'm hoping Sony adds 1440p support like the Series X has. Yeah, I hope so, Chris. That's cool, man. Though that's freaking sweet. You're gonna have a really good visual experience with that, and it's important. It's just important to get the right stuff for the consoles, so you can at least have a really good experience. You have all the Carpenter Steelbooks. I only have They Live. That's the only steelbook I got. I should have grabbed all of them, but at the time, they sold out quickly. I mean, they really did. But yeah, definitely try to snag a TV. It's the time to do it, too. They're really cheap. PS5 cases suck compared to how they changed the cases from 3 to 4. Yeah, I know I kind of talked about this a little bit with John on the stream about, like, digital. And definitely for this gen, I think I'm going to lean a little bit more towards digital in regards to accumulating this stuff, because by the time the PS6 comes out, it's going to be digital. Let's just face it. You know what I mean? I feel like they're going to just put people in that position, unfortunately, or they will always have a disc drive there, which I'm down for because I still watch 4K movies. But if they want the PS5 to be their definitive 4K player with a physical movie or a physical disc, whatever the case may be, then that's great, because I still like to buy, granted, if it's a series I love, I love like Crash Bandicoot, obviously Resident Evil, that's an obvious one. Gears of War, games like that I'll buy physically. You know what I mean? Because I'm a fan. I'll get the collector's edition, stuff like that. That kind of stuff, those collector's editions will make up for. Yes, there you go, Detective Butler. He says, Mac, Walmart has an on TV that's 50 inches Roku 4K for $225. Exactly. It's not the best TV ever, right? But who gives a fuck? It's $225 plus tax, whatever taxes in your state. And Mac, you'll be like blown away. Like, that's going to be like mind blowing. Yeah, digital seems to be the way now. Yeah, as far as, because like with movies, like I think movies, especially like what Darnell said about, and Darnell, I'll answer your question in a second. The movies definitely matter more physically, I think, because you can rip them and do what you want with them and have them on a home theater PC like Perry has it, or you can have the physical movie, because the problem is Netflix and some of these streaming services are lowering the bit rate, so the quality actually doesn't look as good as it should, because they're lowering it just because there's so many people online. And when services like that start doing that, it's really one of those things that it sucks, because it alters the quality. But if you have it on a disc, that's going to look good. There's not going to be that little blurry pixel shit you see in the dark and stuff like that. There's no compression in the audio. It's clear. Now, granted, they have digital copies with these, and you can watch the HD digital copy. It's not true 4K, but you pop in the 4K Ultra and you're ready to go. And I think that's why I'm still going to be collecting physical movies and music, just because I'm a CD and vinyl guy. But I think with these games now, like the new games, they are not on the disc. You put the disc in, and it sends a little thing to the server, and it says, okay, download it. And that's all it is. It's not actually on the disc. Do you think 250 gigs is going to be on that disc after you get everything, all said and done? Or even the base game? It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, for most of the stuff, unless there's like, a really good deal. Like if you see like a physical deal and it's like not even on sale digital and you want to play it, at least then with physical, you can get rid of that shit and get some kind of profit from it. You can't really do that with digital, so that's not really tangible in that way. That's the only real like downside to some of that shit. But even then, like fuck GameStop and fuck all that. They're gonna be going down eventually, and the people that work there are fucking assholes. And I've had bad experiences there. John's had bad experiences there. Perry's had terrible experiences there. It's just like the people that they hire there, man. I don't understand. But Darnell, sorry about going off on that. To answer your question, what do you think is Carpenter's most underrated movie? I'd say The Fog. I love The Fog. The Fog is so fucking good. But I would say most underrated. I really like Christine. Like, I know people, oh, here's James. He's making an appearance. Christine is really good. I know it has like a fan base and it has like a steelbook and everything like that. But I would say Christine as far as underrated, because obviously, Halloween and The Thing and They Live, they're not so underrated. They have kind of like that lot of fan base. Christine, though, not a lot of people talk a lot about that, but I actually like the whole idea of a car killing people. I think that's fucking awesome. But yes, Mac, that TV is cheap, and you should definitely consider it. That's the only reason I got a 5 with the disc port, so I could buy physical games. Yeah, exactly. It's good to have it. I think it's great, especially if you have a lot of old games, right? So for Xbox, I have a closet filled with these games that I spent money on. On the Xbox, I can pop in an original Xbox game, a 360 game, and a Plays. That's fucking cool. My physical stuff still technically is worth something to me because I can still play it. I don't have to bust out a 360 to play it. If I want to play, 360, I could still hook it up or whatever. But the Xbox is one of the things where it just works. And then obviously the same thing. If you have a bulky PS4 collection and you want to play it on the 5, pop in the disc and you don't got to buy it again. Some people that want to thin out their shit, they'll just buy it on digital and be done with it. And then they don't have the disc or anything like that. But yeah, if you have old stuff, it's great for that, And then Xbox is more of like a bigger generation of games that you're able to play. Not to mention you get Game Pass, which is all digital, but it's totally worth it for $15 or $10 a month. Actually, if you eat 15, you get the PC benefits. Like for example, today Doom Eternal went on PC for Game Pass. So if you spent 15, you get the both Play Anywhere thing because it's all Windows. I still prefer getting my games physical if it's an option, says Chris TV Live. Yeah. I think I definitely I think this gen I'm just kind of going in that realm a little bit. I don't know because it's like I have so much shit that I collect already, so it's like I might as well kind of thin out some of the stuff a little bit. You know what I mean? On games that like, do I really need Call of Duty physically? Like, no. Do I really need, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like if you look at my physical collection from this gen to last gen, it's like, it's insane. It's so shorter. And I did get rid of a lot of stuff on PS4 that, like, I didn't really play. Like Watch Dogs, I got rid of it. I don't fucking care about Watch Dogs. I kept Last of Us 1 and 2, Metal Gear Solid, Crash Team Racing, Rainbow Six Siege, stuff like that. Yeah, so I'll still get like physical games. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna go completely digital because that would be lying for this gen, because I'm gonna get some physical stuff. So like I'm still probably gonna have some collection of some sort. And again, you get a lot of good deals on physical sometimes that are better than digital. So sometimes you can, like I just got a bulk of like Xbox digital games. Like I got Gears Ultimate, which I had it on PC before, but I have the Gears 5 Steelbook over there too. Detective Butler says, I got on 32 Roku for my office just to have one, and I actually think it's a decent TV. It was $100. Yeah, so Callie's sister got an on TV. It was like a 43-inch 4K. It was like a flash deal, and it was like $80 or $88. It was something like stupid cheap. And I set it up for them with Roku and everything, and she loves it. But it gets the job. I was like, even if this thing lasts a fucking year, like God forbid, let's say it doesn't turn on. Hey, you see what I did there? You see what I did? It didn't turn on. You could just toss it because you only spent like $100, right, or whatever. So yeah, Mac, I think you'll be fine with that. Try to look into that. Go to Wally World or order it online because I'm sure you can get the same. I mean, I know it's like Cyber Monday just passed and Black Friday. They run deals fucking the whole year. You can get the shit cheap. They try to obviously make people spend money like in the bulk of the next couple of weeks because it's Christmas shopping season. But that's the point, is that they'll just extend that sale or have sales like all the rest of the year, all throughout. MW Lewis says, yeah, same here. I brought Yakuza Like a Dragon physically for Xbox for $35 at Best Buy. Yeah, like if you see something like that, I'll pick it up. I don't think I'm gonna collect any more Xbox One games, like one games. Like I'm only just gonna get the Series X like cases because I'm done. I'm done with the last. I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to look at it. I'm done. The consoles are away. I have the new shit out. It's over. It's one of those. Oh, you got scared. It's okay. Fucking Jesse. I pet him. He's like, oh, oh. Yeah, like I said, that's gonna be night and fucking day. With the TV. So if you get some of the deals going, Walmart is probably the best bet for that. Best Buy too. The On brand though is specific to Walmart. They have a deal obviously with Roku as well, and you get your you get your apps on it too. I mean, I know you have a 5 right now, so you have all your Netflix and Hulu, YouTube, and all that shit on there. You also get it on the TV. So JB Zombie says, I downloaded Doom Eternal on Game Pass. Really fun. Plus, the soundtrack is amazing. I fucking love Doom Eternal. It's probably one of my favorite games this year. The soundtrack is amazing. Mick Gordon's a great. I gotta beat it though. I didn't actually like finish it. I have to go back and finish it. But Spider-Man's taking up some time right now when I do play. So I might put some more hours into that tonight. Yeah, that's not even bad at all for that price, Yeah, because it's like, don't suffer, Mac, anymore. Don't suffer with that TV because that's crazy. That's like if I hooked up my PS5 to the rear projection. I mean, that thing would look like bad. Hell yeah. Do it. New TV. Speaking of new games, I pre-ordered Cyberpunk 2077 digitally earlier today, and it's pre-installed, so I'm pretty hyped about that. Oh, is it? Oh, right. Okay. I didn't know. Is the pre-install available? Because I have it as well. I have it digitally because I got the console. So it's actually smart delivery. So it's connected to my email. So the way I got the Cyberpunk console is basically someone returned it curbside when we were strictly curbside at my job. And it ended up being one of those things where the customer returned it, didn't want it, probably impulse, bought it, and because that thing sold out overnight. And fans were pissed because CD Projekt nor Microsoft, they didn't announce anything. It just went up, sold out, and it was done. But I thought that this guy was going to take the code out or whatever. And I'm looking around and I don't think because it was untouched. Like the wrapping was still taped, and the power cable and the HDMI cable that was green or a turquoise color was all wrapped up and everything. Everything was the same. And then I messaged Perry and he was like, no, they're doing this new thing called smart delivery where it attaches to the email. When you turn on the console, it knows and it links to the email. So everything was accounted for as far as the code. So I should actually check to see if that is, because I have it digitally as well. So I'm in the same boat, MW Lewis. But that's a game too, where if I really fucking like Cyberpunk, and I'm talking really like it because it has a lot of hype. It's like a Tool album as far as a game is concerned. So, as far as anticipation and how long it's been, but not as long as a Tool album. That's been that was 12 years. But this was more if it's really good, and I know there's a collector's edition and shit, I'll buy it. I mean, there's some games where it's oh man, I gotta own that just to have it. But the thing is, if I get it, I'm gonna get some kind of steelbook or some kind of edition because it really wouldn't, I would go for it, Same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2. I got that. I got the Doom Eternal steelbook. I got the Doom Slayer collection physically. I'm a fan of Doom. Doom I'll always buy physical. Some games just have my money. They got my money physically. I'll just buy it because I just I want to have it. I want to have it somewhere. And again, if there's a collector's edition, I think that's going to really be more enticing for me to buy it. Because like I said, it will kind of make up for the little games here and there that I don't really care about, getting physically. So I'll miss the 90s filter, but it's time for an upgrade. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's time. And the on TVs, from what I understand and from what I saw, Mac, they still have the old school connections on the back. Because I looked on the back of the one that I was set up, and there was still the composite cables, the yellow, white, and red. So they're still there. So and my Sony, which is like a $1,200 TV, still has it in the back. I don't think the new ones do, because this one's from like 2016, but like still. The last few, yeah, I had to drop set, Darnell. I had to drop set the difficulty. It was really hard. I was on like not the hardest, but the one before it, and I was like, I gotta drop this thing. But yeah, I'm MW Lewis, is the pre-install available? Like, can you install it right now? I mean, I know it comes out like on the 10th, so it's like right around the corner. What about a coax? I'm pretty sure it has coax. It has coax. You won't need adapters though, Mac. That's the thing. You won't need any adapters or splitters. If it has a coax cable and it has composite, and then you'll have HDMI, so you don't got to worry about any adapters. You'll get the adapters out. And my TV has coax too. Like the Sony has coax. So like antenna connection, like if you wanted an antenna or you wanted to run like a standard cable, you can do that too. Yeah, no adapter. Hell yeah. And Mac, I'll send you like a model. Like I'll look up a model for you. And I'll look at the pic. I'll try to find the same one that Callie's sister got. And I'll send it your way. MW Lewis says, well, when I turned on my Xbox One X earlier, I saw it installing, so I assume so. Oh, okay. MW Lewis, you are probably not wrong. I got to actually check that. I did install the new console update, so now it actually like lists the what games are X and S, like the versions and stuff like that. So it's around 60 gigs. Okay. Max says, I spent so much on adapters and new remotes. My remote cost me $60 because they didn't have a remote for the old TV. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, a lot of times to adapt it, like even like I have like this right here for the Elgato. But you can also not only use it for the Elgato, but you can use it for any TV. And you have something like this where it can connect. Now for this is so I can, play old consoles on here. And shout out to Perry. This one has worked for me. I have had no problems with this thing. Some of these adapters are a little sketch. They don't all work accordingly. But that one has worked. And then obviously John and Dustin have something similar, and it doesn't fuck with the Elgato. It doesn't fuck with it. So that's the only time I use adapters. Other than that, though, when I'm just playing, you never want to run stuff through a splitter or an adapter or a coupler or anything, because then it kind of degrades the quality. It degrades the signal. So did John ever look at those leaks I sent him on Discord? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he's working at the moment, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my TV only has one HDMI port. My TV, and I have to unplug it and plug in everything. Okay. Yeah, so it's like you won't have to worry about it. I think the TV that I saw had like 2 or 3 HDMI connections, so you could still, I mean, I don't think you have like a million devices to plug in, but everyone in here has got to play Control if you haven't already. It's excellent. I got to check that out. I have Quantum Break over there too. I got to play that. Perry sent that to me physically, actually, so I do have that too. Also, Let me grab it real quick. This thing is sold out. You can't even find this thing anywhere. So I did an unboxing, which I'm sure most of you saw, but pretty interesting. I wonder if they're going to keep... I mean, it was on sale for like $59.99, which isn't bad considering for 4K Ultra, the whole fucking thing, instead of $100, I got it for 53 with my Best Buy discount, so that's why. Controls on Game Pass, though. I got to check that out, Darnell. I really got to... I think what I'm going to... See, my thing is, like, what I have to do is I have to go back and play a lot of the, like, games I missed. So, like, I know it's going to be a while before both consoles have, like, a lot of new games that interest a lot of us fans of gaming right now. So I think I'm going to enjoy, you know, going back, playing the other games. Hopefully there's upgrades to make them 60, like Days Gone that I missed out on and stuff like that. It's like X-Files, Twin Peaks, and Inception had a baby. That's cool. That's really fucking cool. I'm going to have to play that. Yeah, so this sold out, and I checked on... I don't know if it... I got my phone right next to me. Let me check. Because I want to see... Some more PS5s were released today, as far as I think PS Direct had some. I'm just checking to see if Best Buy still has the set, too. Yeah, I think that's why, like, I don't buy a lot of stuff. I'm kind of weird with, like, buying stuff all at once. Like, I like buying games one at a time when I'm, like, trying to check out new stuff and play, because I don't like getting overwhelmed. Like, I get anxious. Like, I'm like, damn, I got to beat, like, all these games. Like, I like taking it one step at a time. Like, I still have stuff like Red Dead 2 I got to beat and shit like that. Like, it makes me mad I didn't beat that yet. I just got to find time to get all that stuff in. Right now, I'm definitely on PS5. I'm exclusively playing Spider-Man because I've never played that, and I'm playing the definitive version right now. So, yeah, it's sold out. Even on Best Buy, that's fucking crazy. And scalpers are reselling it for like $150, which is nuts. So I'm happy I grabbed one when I did. It was funny too, because it's like I ordered it from Amazon, and it's like they delayed my shit. It probably would have got canceled. So, you know, it's a good thing that I fucking just canceled it, and I didn't get charged because they never shipped it. So I was like, and I got it cheaper. Like, I was stupid not to like check when I got it at Best Buy because I fucking work there, but I didn't like know that we were getting them in. Okay, MW Lewis asks, what are your current thoughts about the new consoles? Personally, I'm going to wait for them to fix up all the kinks before snagging one. Yeah, so far so good. I didn't run into any of the error codes that were bricking PlayStation 5 consoles or disk drive issues that some of our viewers had. And I didn't get any Xbox issues either. So far they look incredible. I mean, the Series X, as far as like native 4K, looks fucking phenomenal. And then PS5 holds the dynamic, you know, very well. I mean, Spider-Man's so impressive, and I didn't even scratch the surface of, you know, that diving into the whole game. I mean, I'm about halfway, so yeah, I did scratch the surface, but Miles Morales I didn't even play yet, and that's like a PS5 game, like, and I didn't even check it out yet. But it's because I waited. I wanted to play Spider-Man in better shape than it ran on the PS4 Pro. And, you know, I don't even give a fuck that they changed Peter Parker's face. Like, whatever. Like, I just want to play the game better. You barely see his face half the time anyway. I mean, like, I know you. There's a lot of cutscenes with him and off with the mask off and everything, but it's fucking Spider-Man. Come on. Yeah, but hey, man, I don't blame you. I mean, and plus, like, the problem right now. It's not always going to be like this with trying to get these things, but the problem is that it's during the holiday and it's during a pandemic and people are home and everything, and that adds to it. But the problem is that, like, no matter what, even if that wasn't going on, it's around the holidays. Like, people are going to be fucking crazy. But, you know, the pandemic did one thing with the consoles, with how they approached it, is that they couldn't sell them in stores. So again, everyone has to fucking sit there with bots and sit there with the fucking spammers that are going to try to grab it. So it's the hardest generation jump because these consoles are so fucking hard to get. There hasn't been a console generation ever like this as far as getting one, like, ever. So over on Game Complainers, me, Perry, and Frank, we worked our asses off trying to get these pre-orders, man. It was a fucking nightmare. It was like fucking... Oh, man. It was bad. It was bad. But we got one, but it was hard. MW Lewis says, I want to maybe get a special bundle down the line or probably just wait until RE Village. There's a lot of people in our community that are waiting for Village, and I don't blame them. Like... That's going to probably look incredible on the RE engine. That's going to be the first brand new game, hopefully, built, you know, completely for the 5 in regards to the technical levels. And you'll see that improvement for sure. Even if there's a cross-generation version, which there probably will be, you know, you'll still get the definitive version on 5. I'm so glad I only paid $10 for Metal Gear Survive. How is that? I never tried to play it. Reddit 2 was overwhelming when I first got it. It was just too deep. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. Haven't had any issues with the PS5, says Chris TV Live. A few games have had issues, but not the console itself. I played RE4 on PS5, and it's so crisp. Yeah, that you're going to get in 60. If I do another Mercenary stream... I'm going to do it on the PS5 because it does improve the frame rate. Like, I can play No Mercy and it's like 60 frames. And I didn't do that on stream, and I should have. So I'm going to do that next time, not play it on the fucking Pro. But that was before I put the Pro upstairs. I had to make room for it. It just happened to be out, so I hooked it up. And plus, like, I'm over here, and my other TV is right over there, and there's a machine. The machines are under it, so I'll adjust what I have to. It's just because bot programs are easily available now. They weren't during the last gen launch. You're right, Chris TV Live. Just in 7 to 8 years, you know, there's been technical boundaries that have been broken because of the, you know, the time that's passed. So, well, that's good to know that some of our viewers have the machines and have been enjoying them. I know it's been, you know, challenging to get them. It's always a struggle to get them, you know. But they'll be in stores eventually. Just give it some time next year. You know, not right now, but not, you know, not even in January, maybe not even February, but sometime next year they'll be around. And they know people want to play, and they know people want to just enjoy something new. So yeah, 7 hours on a queue. That's crazy. Yeah, one thing that Best Buy did, or they started doing, what Perry told me, is that what they do is you click checkout, and then they send you a text code to your phone, and then you have to put that code in, and that's a cool way to do it. Obviously, you know, it still sells out fast, but there was an Xbox Series X that was available for like an hour the other day, and people were just buying them because they regulated it. They've yet to do that with the 5 because the 5 just hasn't been restocked since them reinforcing the text code thing. MW Lewis says the only thing that bums me a little bit about the consoles is hearing that about the memory situation. Yeah, well, we all knew that was going to happen, but the problem with the 5 is there's no expandable memory right now, and we need it right now because within a few backlog games installed in a few new games, it's filled. So it's one of those things where you're like, what the hell, man? So I'm going to get the 1 terabyte SSD memory slot, and pop it right in, and then you have more memory on the Xbox. So they kind of launched that well, and I know it's $219. It's a lot for but it's an SSD. It's the newest SSD on the market with like the size of a memory card. You pop it in, it takes 2 seconds, and it's done. But the problem is the games are so fucking massive now with a 4K update. If especially if you have the X, and you're getting everything, and you're downloading all the packs and everything like that, and like if you have Call of Duty and Warzone, that's taking up like 300 gigs of your hard drive right there. You know what I mean? And you only really have about 600 to 700 after the cache, after everything goes on the machine when you install it or when you start it up. So that's the thing, man. That's the thing. Like the games aren't on the discs anymore, so it's taking up more now because they can utilize. Okay, you have a disc, and we're just gonna like send it to the server. But on top of that, you have the digital update and the it stacks to the point where that would never fit on a fucking Blu-ray disc. Not even a dual Blu-ray disc. You know what I mean? Or dual 4K Blu-ray disc. It's one of those things where it's like, after the update, it gets to the point where it's too much, and the hard drives will fill up so fast just from installing COD and Warzone, and then you're just now. The good thing is that now you can choose what you want to install. So you can choose if you want to do zombies, you can choose if you want to do, all that stuff. So Eric Haviland says, sorry for the late arrival. What's your opinion about the problems with the PS5 that's been going around? Well, Eric, it's a bummer because our viewers, or one of our viewers had to, send the PS5 in a coffin and, get, not that it was dead, but it was technically a coffin. We call it the coffin from the 360 days. And you put it in there and you send it off. And it's one of those things where, hopefully the disk drives don't fuck up, because I had to deal with that with the PS3. Disk drive died within about a year, and it didn't work anymore. In the closet it went, and then we had to buy a new machine because Sony wanted $150 right there and then, and we're like, fuck that. But it was out of the year manufacturer, so what are you going to do, right? But hopefully it doesn't consistently happen, but that error code was bricking machines. I mean, that's a bummer. Max says it takes hours to download the game, then you still have to put in the disc. What happened to just popping in the disc? Yeah, exactly. That's because it's pretty much just telling the server, hey, you have the license to download this game, and then it just takes all the contents of the game and all the downloads from the server and just plops it on your hard drive. That's crazy, Damien Poe. That's fucking nuts. He said I had to get so many 360 coffins, 7 Xboxes. I only had to deal when they sent me back my original machine. It worked for like a long time. I don't think it works anymore. I still have it, and then I have a hacked one. That was my brother's. And I fixed. You know how I fixed his? He had the red rings. I literally, before it eventually, red ringed like years later though. It worked for a while. I dropped it. So you picked it up to about knee height level, dropped it on one side, pick it up on the other, drop it on like carpet. Bam, bam, fucking worked for 5 more years. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. And that's the one I ended up hacking so I can play burned games. I was burning, 360 games at the time because all you needed was like the dual layer DVDs and a burner. And with the hacked machine, you could just pop in the discs, and they would always go online early. And that's how I did my Umbrella or Operation Raccoon City review, because I was doing I burned the copy before it came out and I was playing it the weekend before. Now, granted, the download times are faster because they are SSDs, but again, there's more memory definitely is needed. I know it took Sony a little bit to get the externals working, but holy shit, man, you gotta get some kind of fucking expandable deal in there. Bro, my very first Xbox broke on my 11th birthday in 30 minutes with my disc still stuck. DOA 4, and my mom was livid and I was in tears. Good times. That's crazy. That's amazing you have a memory, DOA 4. That was my first machine. We finally convinced, my dad to get us an Xbox. It was the summer of 2006. And it was August 2006. And finally got one. Because you couldn't find it. It just seemed like impossible. You go in the store and ask. It was like, no. But we got the premium console and with the hard drive. The 16 gigabyte hard drive, everyone. Because back then, the games were on the disc. So all you needed was a 16 gigabyte hard drive. Or if you wanted to pay for the arcade machine, it came with a 12 megabyte memory card or something like that. Or a gigabyte memory card or something like that. And then it had Viva Pinata in it. But I got DOA 4. And that was my first game. And I was like, holy shit, this game's awesome. And I was playing it on a CRT. But it looked fucking phenomenal. It still looks good. DOA still looks good. MW Lewis says nothing worse than having your 360 tip over the disc and hearing that scratch noise. Lost a copy of Halo 3 like that. Yeah, that happened to me too. One of my friends fucking knocked the console over like an asshole and it scratched up the Halo 3 disc. I still have the original disc with the fucking ring around it. I got the red ring of death. My first Xbox 360 was an Elite version too. Yeah, I remember that. I never got the Elites, but when I had the Slim, ever since the Slim, I was good. The Slim, like in 2010, when they announced that in the summer of 2010, by that Christmas, I got the Slim because I got like checkerboarding on my last like 360, and that was it. I turned it on, and it was like you could see the checkerboard would happen, and I was like, the console's done. So and then I got the 4 gigabyte 360 Slim, and you could buy the expandable 256, put that hard drive in, and that lasted me until 2013, 2014, and to when I was still, and then at that point I hacked it, took it offline, hacked it, JTagged it, and shout out to Perry. That was a pain in the ass to get that. But yeah, the red ring was crazy, but no one cared. Like, everyone just wanted to get another one because you wanted to play Halo, you wanted to play Gears, you wanted to play the games on it. I mean, that generation, they fucking dominated. They dominated. And that's crazy, Darnell. You bought Gears 2 and the next day your console. Dude, I would have been I was praying that my console wouldn't die for Gears 2 because I was so fucking excited. I'm such a big Gears of War fan, guys. Like, I'm a huge Gears fan. And I'm a huge fan, but I didn't beat the 5th one yet. So that's another game I have to play now on the new machine now that it runs as good as it can, and I'm going to beat it. But Gears 2 was a big fucking deal, and I took off from school. It was a big fucking deal, and it worked, though, but yeah, I didn't have any issues with the disc. But, man, that 360 was fucking loud. It was loud. And the Slim wasn't as loud, but holy shit, man! It was one of those things where it took a long time to get that thing to be steady with a model that didn't fuck up. So, Eric says, I've noticed slowdown on RE3 when playing on the standard PS4. The location outside the donut shop, the zombies were more jerky than the zombies from Michael Jackson's Thriller. Yeah, there's definitely dips with 2 and 3 Remake on the old machines. Now I can say, at least on the Xbox, the 3 runs fucking phenomenal. And it has like HDR, and it's great. You shouldn't get any of that on the new machines. Liquor Sandwich says the only Xbox that didn't give me shit was the Gears 3 Special Edition console. That was an awesome console. Yeah, that's cool, man. I got the statue that time. I got the box still, and I got the statue up there. I got Marcus still chilling. It's one that amazes me about Xbox 360 its failure rate of 54%, and it was still so successful. Yeah, it just shows you that when you have, the games, and that was the big online era. That was when online gaming really skyrocketed, and Xbox Live took a big win with those games that they had. And that, man, it was so good. It was just so fucking good. That was one of my favorite eras. Definitely not my favorite, but it's definitely one of my favorites. I mean, it changed gaming for sure, and I still have all my games from that era. And I would achievement hunt in that era. I want to kind of get back into getting achievements again because they take a lot of time. I think that's the big thing, and you don't have as much time when you get older. But that's the thing. It's like I have so many 360 games over there. Like I got like a lot, and again, I don't, the Xbox, my Xbox One collection never even came close. Also, I kind of got the Xbox One late in the gen by the time the One X came out, so I wasn't really on it as much. But I still, this gen, regardless, digital, physical, whatever, I'm going to try to enjoy both machines equally and give equal time to it. And I kind of rotate in and out of whatever machine I want to play, whatever I'm feeling. But we still got 14 of you in here. We only got 5 likes. We got 14 people in here. Hit the thumbs up at least. I mean, I know this video isn't going to go past the Patreons, but give some support. Give yourselves a pat on the back. You guys have fucking been killing it. We appreciate you guys keeping us going. Sony is lucky they didn't get pushed out of the market. They mishandled the PS3 so badly. Yeah, it was bad. They took a huge loss on that. Yo, we down for some Gears 5 co-op Achio hunting. Yo, I am down. Let me get your gamer tag, man. Just send it on Discord. But yeah, there's so much stuff that I gotta play, and I'm just excited, man. I feel good like about the console so far. It feels refreshing. It feels refreshing. It feels like a weight lifted off our shoulders as far as like we're out. We're just out of the last gen. We're done. We don't gotta worry about this shit anymore. So, but. Perfect. All right. Cool. But all right, guys. So thanks for coming by. We did over an hour, almost hour and a half. So that's pretty good. This was just kind of like a random stream, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just kind of wanted to throw something extra on the Patreon page for you guys, give you guys something exclusive. I like this little chill chat we got going on with the supporters. You guys get a little one-on-one action. MW Lewis says, I'd definitely be down to play Horde with you. Gears 5. Dude, I'm down. I don't have enough friends on Xbox. Like, John doesn't play Xbox. A lot of my friends, like, they're on PC, so they can still technically play with me if they play. But, like, even, like, all my other best friends, too, like, all the ones that play consoles or machines, like, only one of them has the fucking Xbox. Oh, Dylan, you finally made it. You made it to the end. Or right at the end. Thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it. Eric says, I can understand that game is going towards digital bit by bit. Microsoft did shoot themselves in the foot when they announced the Xbox One requiring internet all the time. Killed my interest. Yeah, but then Sony was going to do the same thing, and then they pulled back on the PS4. But now all machines have to be online for the most part. So it's like, it's one of those things where like most of the stuff now is all DRM. So it was one of those things where it's like, because Xbox went first, Sony pulled back, and then Sony got the one up, and then that's what killed Microsoft after the 360. So, But yeah, on the Discord, just send me your gamer tags. I'll add you guys. I don't have an extensive like friends list, so I'm only gonna add like you Patreon supporters, to be honest, because I can't add like everyone. Because then I used to have my gamer tag and stuff up there, but I would get like random people, and I didn't like that. So, but yes, thank you everyone that was in here. I'm just gonna give a quick rundown of all the Patreon supporters that were in this show. Thank you so much for supporting us every month, and you get extra shit like this. You get extra behind the scenes stuff and extra stuff. And Callie wants to show James on the camera real quick. It's James. It's James. Thank you, Patriot, Mac, Darnell, Detective Butler, M.W. Lewis, Liquor Sandwich, Danger Dylan, JB Zombie. I already said Darnell. Patriot, JB Zombie, I already said that. Chris TV Live. Eric. And then we have Jesse. Jesse. You get the duo. Oh, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. Oh, yes. PS exclusive. Mac is only on PlayStation. Yeah, well, I'll send you over that model, Mac, as well, just so you can put that on your to buy list. But yeah, so thank you, everyone, and I appreciate all the love and support. And we will return on Tuesday, and I will be playing Resident Evil Gaiden, and I will hate my life. And no, Gaiden's actually so bad it's good. It's actually a really fun. That was one of my favorite streams of the last Legacy series, so I'm looking forward to that. This time I'll be playing that. But John gets dead aim, so he gets that turd of a game. That's another game where it's like, as long as you know the way, but you'll be okay. But anyway, enough rambling. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Oh yeah, definitely, Darnell. Would love to chat Carpenter Flicks one day if you're down. Oh yeah, man, for sure. No problem. And then we'll be able to add, I'll add you guys on there. Just send me your gamer tags and we'll link up. We'll set aside some time. But yes, hope you enjoy this Patreon stream, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.